Dude, it could just okay. Well, you either know or you don't. But in the Magic Roundabout, clearly the entire show was about drags, which is the ridiculous thing.
Oh.
Anyway, it's going to be the pistol round between Liquid and CompLexity, and we'll already have Hiko picking up a quick headshot as well as Elise. So setting up that sandwich situation. CompLexity should be able to get a bomb down, but there is a lot of CTs who are very close who can deny this. So I would be a little bit worried if I were them. And the bomb is going to be planted, and we have one player standing on a barrel.
I love barrels.
I enjoy barrels, but will the barrel be the X factor of the match? No.
Do you remember when Justin Wong was at Evo? And
which time? He's been at a lot of Evos.
That's
James.
true. That's true. Well, he was playing a match. He was playing a match on stage, right?
Okay, yeah.
And he got up to celebrate, and he tripped, and just kind of transitioned into a barrel roll on the stage to try and style out the trip.
That's what that is exactly what the kind of thing that I do. You got to own that. You got to own it, James. You got to just go for it. So I'm going to turn this into something to own it. It was a mistake at first, but now I've created, well, a greater mistake. But at least it's my mistake consciously. That is how it works.
So the bomb has been planted, and that means that CompLexity are going to be on quite the eco here. So we can expect this to be a 2-0. But if you want to double confirm it, you can do so on the Score Esports app there, which is available on the iOS App Store or Google Play Store, but probably not Microsoft Store, as you suggested.
But what does it do, James?
It allows you to check the score down, among other things.
Which scores?
The scores of games in Esports Dan, hence it being called the Score Esports.
Is it free, James?
It is free. It is widely available, Dan.
What does it cost me?
As is the nature of the internet. It might cost you the odd megabyte.
Does it cost me time, James?
It depends.
I'm a man on the move, James. Don't have much time.
It might cost you time if your time has value, Dan. Does your time have value, though? That is the question.
Well, you got me there.
The AKs
you win.
The AKs have come out. And again, we're seeing the Bison continue. Liquid just don't seem to be interested in buying up to face off. They're more interested in the long game here, so they're willing to risk losing a round and then buying up in the following round. In that sense, obviously, CompLexity theoretically might get one round on the board and then lose and have no economy left. So there are advantages to this style of play, and obviously if they get kills, then it will help their money once they go to the buy. Obviously having the bigger kill bonuses on the Bison or the UMP. Quite curious to see if Eco will get a kill with a Bison on a buy round on Dust 2 when all of CompLexity have helmets, though. That is going to be quite the challenge.
Well, we've got some flashes being used here. Some utility has been expended. They have traded one resource to gain another. The flashbang was the resource, and what they have gained is some positioning. We have causation and a result here for CompLexity, which is good. Now they are actually moving on to the A play at the moment, and Kusa's going to decide to opt out. I opt out of this A side defense. I'm going to hold long, and looks like Sanks is going to try to cut off rotation. He's got Surreal there as well to help out. But again, Surreal and Def, the two British peoples that are playing from the Britland, also known as England or the United Kingdom. So here goes. Well, Alicia's dead now, so Def, good defense coming in. Another player there, Def able to take him down as well. Surreal doesn't have to do any work there. Def making his life very easy indeed. Kusta and Adren coming in from long. They really were expecting their teammates to actually force their way up catwalk so they could have a split onto the bomb site for the retake, but that's not going to happen. And Surreal's coming in from the back here. Kusta is expectant of this at this point. They've given up the idea that they can retake the bomb site, and instead they just want to hold on to their weapons and grab any exits that they can. And Surreal not going to push in, and might get the kill there with the spray, but not quite very close, going down to 5. But Liquid losing their first buy versus buy situation, which is unfortunate for them, but well played by CompLexity.
Unless you, with these metal doors in Dust 2, unless you shoot somebody in the head with like an AK or a deagle, then it's pretty much not worth trying to shoot through them unless you have more. I have found in my tests, my experiments. So Liquid have come out with the bigger buy now. So I expect this trend will be a common one if they continue after winning the pistol on round where there's a plant on round 3 with Bisons and so on. I expect that they will lose this round more often than not. So I do wonder how prepared they will be to continue from this point, and obviously it will vary from map to map as well. Nice to see a bit of a defaults coming out from CompLexity. Again, we saw the problems with defaults actually on the T side with G2 against Astralis a few weeks ago. I do not expect to see such punishment in this particular match. So we've got CompLexity with control of shorts. They've got nobody even lurking towards long. That said, they do have a minute on the clock here. It seems that they may start, well, I was going to say moving towards the split. However, the bomb seems to be going elsewhere.
Yeah, we have the split for B as the mid is taken away from Liquid. The smoke goes down the CT, and 3 players here from CompLexity rather making their way forwards. Whitmer is going to pass, find somebody in the smoke and easily dispatching him. So Liquid's Hiko, I mean, obviously the play for Liquid, they realized they'd lost mid, so they wanted to take Dark to then allow their teammates from A to take away the front of the site for a more effective retake. Just pushing those Ts, forcing them to all be in the site, which would have been effective. But Whitmer with a good play there to actually deny that, and now it's going to be a 3 versus 3. So Liquid in a bad way, to be honest. It's going to be hard for them to win this battle. But there is the first engagement. Kusta gets the entry, and he will get traded upon. Whitmer and Def are going to be able to pick up all the frags that are necessary. Hiko's going to come in, but there's so much time that's being expended on the bomb at this point, and CompLexity are playing more for time. It's the right play to go for. Hiko's in there trying to get the spray down on the next player. Switches for the pistol. That's good, but there's no time at this point. Indeed, it has been played well by CompLexity, and they should have broken the money of Liquid now. As you can see, they are without really any cash to buy with. So CompLexity taking control of the match very early.
Indeed, so Liquid have a problem on their hands now, which is their economy. So the gamble hasn't paid off in this sense. I am curious to see how it will go on over a larger sample size though. This has been a thing that I've noticed pretty much in the last week with Liquid, so perhaps still early days with this Stratego. Depth going for the Mac 10, knowing that these players are going to be on the anti-eco. So we'll see if this, curious to see if this default will differ from CompLexity when they know that they're on an anti-eco. Obviously there is the Spectre of Hiko with the AK somewhere on the map. You can see they have passive positions to start off with. 2 players far away from B and going back to T-spawn. So indeed there is a bit of a difference here from CompLexity. Not going for the pop flash towards short on this occasion, maybe trying to avoid the initial close quarters engagements. Nitro has a deagle. Other than that, not much has been purchased here by Liquid, so their other guns are not going to be quite very fearsome, unless they run into Hiko, of course. So no pop flash, I think. Elite with good timing there, and that is a bit of an issue for Surreal, down to 20 HP, but obviously CompLexity still at a considerable advantage. So we've got Kusta and Adren on the site itself. We've got the Molotovs flying in, which is always good to see. A flank from long would be good in this situation, but then again, it is an eco, so they will choose to keep the numbers together, and so far so good.
Yeah, and Hiko can hold on to the AK-47 very realistically, and I don't know why he wouldn't want to do that. But he's going to go for some kills, and this is just a nice way to actually try to save. Because if it's kind of a marginal call between saving and doing some damage because they think, oh, we've got to buy the next round anyway, you have a situation where he puts himself in, like, where he's going to be finding engagements, but they're quite favorable, generally speaking, instead of having the approach where he's avoiding all engagements entirely. So and you can see he picks up a frag there, and maybe if he picks up both kills, he still survives. So that's kind of the when it's a marginal situation, that's a cool call to make. But Whitmer, he's going to go with a fast timing pick towards long, and there's no presence there. And this actually should inform CompLexity that Whitmer sees nobody there early on, that long is up for grabs, and that short is taken by the CTs. And so there's lots of options there. Generally, it's going to encourage, just forcing a way up long onto the bomb site because they don't have any presence on the actual site. But we'll see how the interpretation goes from CompLexity. They have 2 players in upper dark. They're just holding out for now.
They've got a bit of a problem, actually, because they know that Liquid are in mid based on those flashes into a lower tunnel from short. So half of CompLexity's team is separated from the bomb and the other player in long. So Surreal's had to rotate all the way through T-spawn to catch up with them. And based on Kusta's position, he's going to hear loads of running in the long area. You can see, I presume that smoke is for CT spawn, otherwise it would be for short itself. But so Liquid have an idea of what is going on yet. There's a smoke for CT spawn. They have an idea of what's going on, but they don't have control of the site, and I think it's going to be hard for them to try and defend this long push here from the T's.
Yes, it's going to be quite a challenge, and Alicia's having to deal with this. He'll get a quick kill, but there's more to be done to stop the bomb from going down. It's quite nice that Liquid have decided to go and contain Catwalk so that they can say, all right, we'll let the bomb go down as long as we can survive and pick off any other players, leaving just the T's on the site to deal with, and we can attack that together. And that's the situation they've given themselves. So that's probably the best play, but it's still hard to get in here without the right amount of grenades. And you can see Whitmer is in a very good position to ult from. Gets another frag there from Catwalk. There's still a player fast on the approach, but Whitmer's going to force his way through the smoke. Really well done. Oh, what a shot there from Whitmer. Close range. Very nice reactions. However, Liquid will still take the round, but with just one player left, you have to favor Complexity's position moving forwards, as not only do they have a good chance to win the round due to having a solid buy, but they stand to reset Liquid should they win this buy. And if they were to do so, it has enormous consequences for Liquid.
Very nice 180 there by Whitmer, and despite losing the round, he did great damage to Liquid at the end, and very good use of the smoke as well. There's a lot of things he did well there to do the best he could in a bad situation. Again, we've got a short push coming in from Liquid, which is becoming a bit standard here from CTs on Dust 2, and the T's are streaming into the B bomb site, but there's no frags to them just yet. All the frags flying in here for the CTs. Only one man lost. That is exactly the round that Liquid needed.
Did Liquid just not? They didn't lose anyone. One person. So, yeah, that is basically Complexity, sort of not necessarily throwing it away. But let's say they lost an opportunity there to take significant control of the match, and instead it's going to be Liquid who have the opportunity to recover, and not only recover. We see there's no money on Complexity, so they actually get the opportunity to have a really strong situation on the money, considering they lost only one man on the last round. Their money's going to be great. So the Complexity will have to win multiple buy rounds in a row to remedy this situation. Oh, that nade is fantastic. Good chunk of damage there and a kill as well as the Molotov or incendiary goes down. More nades rain in, and this is the end of the line here for Complexity. There's a lot of low players here for Liquid, but there's only one player lost once again. So money builds even more. And generally speaking, Liquid looking better than they did yesterday, James, against Team Caliber, previously without a roof. I mean, that was backwards and forwards constantly, just trading rounds all the time. And Liquid actually look like they can win a few in a row now.
Well, Orps onto both teams now, as well as a smorgasbord of grenades. So we'll see if Liquid can extend the lead that they have managed to attain for themselves. Early days. Liquid looking hungry for aggression here. Real with a nice off angle, but again, in my opinion, those sprays are for the most part a waste of time. Just purely because the doors are now metal and not wooden. Unless he gets, he can try and get an estimate as to where the player is, as I'm sure he did, to try and shoot him in the head, but unless he shoots him in the head, he's basically wasting his time. So there's a bit of exploring going on towards mid here, trying to discern the setup of the CTs. And they have got the crossfire set up. Oh, Nitro gets finished by Whitmer. And I think they will just back off and hold that. Well, it'll be Liquid who technically have to hold that. But I did want to know doubts about potential wall bangs into the position where Liege was previously behind the box. But I'll have to wait for another time. So Brent trying to even things up, and he will do exactly that, getting a bit of information for a team as well. We'll see a second player towards long, with the bomb no less. So that's going to be some information for the team. That's causing a massive rotation. Everyone's moving towards the A site here, and there isn't enough time for the bomb to rotate towards B. Kustar trying to finish off Death on the site here. He just can't get the frag. And now Lee's gone down, and this could go the way of Complexity. Yeah, to say that, it's Sanks alone, and he has no choice but to try and plant the bomb here, which he should be able to do. Hiko going for a jumping frag, so Dren's holding the angle from the platform as well. And Hiko will finish off the job. 2 players surviving for Liquid. They will pick up 1 AWP at least.
Yeah, and I mean, the only reason that was close is because Kusta was unable to hit those shots, but it seems like Hiko is the X factor. James. Hiko's the X factor.
Maybe he is that.
Of the
Maybe
rounds.
Maybe he's your Simon Cowell.
Producer Reese said something, but I couldn't hear.
I have no idea what he was saying.
I don't know what he said, but
Hiko
is the X factor. I repeat.
I don't know if he was speaking English.
It might be. He's perhaps invented a new language. It reminds me of gibberish, James. I just hear excuses, James. I hear a bunch of excuses from producer Reese.
Well, Surreal's gone down. He's been picked off by Kusta. So I wonder what he was doing there. Like, surely he's not looking down mid with 120 ping. I wouldn't recommend that, Dan. Nitro takes on Whitmer as well. So the second drop was picked up in the previous round from Liquid, and so far, so good. Complexity being pulled apart, Dan. I have a friend who you know who she is, who when she was a young girl in Ukraine, Dan, she would sometimes pick the legs off a spider, and that appears to be
in Ukraine.
What is happening. Yeah, she's not Russian. That appears to be what is happening in this round. At least the legs are being plucked. Why
would you make that comparison? It's not pleasant, James.
Neither is what is happening to Complexity, Dan. I mean, those orcs are completely beastly. I felt them, Dan. I felt the base in my chest.
Well, I mean, there's still a chance here for Complexity. They have found some positioning into middle, and they'll be going to the sites to get fast entries, and there is one. Then they'll be good here, but Hiko might be the X factor, James, of the round again. Well, we'll have to see if this actually will turn out to be a victory. Indeed, Sanks is in for a tough time, but he'll get taken down. So indeed, the X factor was Hiko, producer Reese.
Is he? He's just not doing it, is he?
No, he's not. He's not.
No.
He just doesn't give a damn.
He's giving you the bat sign, Reese.
Oh, apparently he showed it, but
because we can't see it on this screen.
I was looking at the wrong one.
Because we literally.
Well, anyway, gents, the new X-Men movie is out on the 27th of May. Boom. May is a great month. Many things happen. My birthday, new X-Men movie.
I like Magneto.
I like
people who
Beast.
are kind of evil.
He's blue, and he's smart, and he's with glasses. Great. So 7-3 is the score for Liquid right now. They're also blue.
It's funny that we have 4 screens here, and we chose to look at one of the 2 that will not show us the overlays.
No, I think it's.
But what we can do is just.
We're professionals.
We
James.
can perennially assume that Reese is not running the overlays down because our screen here doesn't show it.
Yeah.
And then just shout at him.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Even though, if we were to turn around, Dan, we could look at another screen and see said overlays.
Do you reckon one day he'll turn on his mic and just like give us a piece? Because
I'm surprised he hasn't done that already.
Yeah, I mean he could do that if he wanted.
Oh, actually,
he's like Gordon Freeman, James. He has no voice.
Dan, we should do
actions.
We should do subscriber giveaways.
Why?
Why?
Why do we need to do that?
We have giveaways for subscribers, so why not?
Why can't you do Dan giveaways? Just give stuff to me all the time.
I thought you meant give Dan away.
You could try that, but I don't think it'd be very successful.
Probably breaks a law with regards to the recipient, Dan.
Numerous laws. Not fit for purpose. Sales of Goods Act 1984.
Somebody apparently posted themselves abroad once in a box. I don't know if I believe that, but it was in a news website or something, like a reputable one, not one of those random ones. Anyway, we're back on the buy round, Dan.
It's on the onion.
We're back on the buy round. Whitmer has a good spawn to make it towards long and try and get a pick here. Let's see if he can do it. He's got some good timing, Dan. That's what he's got.
He's got the timings, yes, he has. The timing is with him. So, it is long control there for Complexity. That's a lot. That's really nice for them to work with. Whitmer gets another kill in mid there, a bit of a push, and you can't blame Liquid too heavily for going for such a push. It's very, again, Dust 2 is a really hard map sometimes to get aggression. The safest aggression would have been the only aggression that could be team played with, which would have been in upper dark. The other aggression, as you saw, is to try to get a push into middle, lower dark from middle, and that was just, again, Whitmer with perfect timing on the first and second kill, and the third kill, phenomenal there from Whitmer. That was a beautiful shot. Def's going to be able to complement it with a nice entry onto Hiko, and Liquid are just done in this round. They're dunsies. That's definitely not a word. People say it all the
People
time.
say dunzo, they don't say dunsies.
They don't?
Only you say
Dunzo.
dunsies. It's like you mixed dunzo with daisies.
Daisies?
Yeah, you know the little flowers.
I don't. Well, I do, but
You don't know daisies.
well, I do, but I don't know what you're talking about. Either way, Whitmer appears to be the X factor of the match, James. Pretty Reese is a fraud, James. He's a fraud.
Oh,
He's a fraud. Oh, he's running highlights, but we can't see them.
He's wearing highlights.
No, running highlights, but we can't see them, so it's great. Anyway, back into the long take here for CompLexity, and just run them over the highlights, Reese. It's all good.
Just put all the overlays on.
Just do what we say.
Oh,
shut
nice
up.
flashbang there. Two-man spray down for Nitro, makes it a third in one magazine, no less. Whitmer comes in and gets taken out.
That's a pretty huge play there from Nitro, just recommitting into long there. I mean, generally speaking, obviously there's two approaches. There's either giving it up and not risking engagements and trying to play around it, or just trying to go for the retake. And if they're in this spot where basically CompLexity, one of the ways that they've clearly highlighted it is going to be good for them to abuse Liquid is to take long early. Basically, that play from Nitro just says, like, we are willing to just try to shut you down immediately, and that is the risk you're going to have to take. And that's a pretty big deal because it allows Team Liquid to reassert themselves on the map, whether it's going to be on catwalk or long. They put more, they make CompLexity think twice about plays like that now. And there's not many rounds left to play with. And if you consider how many of the rounds have gone, Liquid have done a great job in actually getting 9 rounds so far, and they look good to potentially make this even that 11-4 scoreline. So good work from them as we see the default from CompLexity play out, but they are starting to edge towards what looks like it's going to become a B splits. What do you think about B splits? What do you think about banana splits? B splits.
I don't even know what banana split is.
So does that?
Well, we'll as Elige is being taken down inside CT spawn, but that's going to allow Nitro to answer back when Whitmer tries to re-emerge from the smoke. Hiko playing those dirty off angles, letting his teammates bait for him, and he's going to get 2 with Nitro picking up the 3rd. So very nice play. Hiko does really well with the kind of right type of baiting on the B-bomb side. We saw that yesterday, we see it again today. He's really just he's balancing it well for his team.
James, I have a question. If Android is his job is to jump into CT spawn, what does Whitmer from mid push the smoke into CT spawn?
I have no idea.
And basically weaken the push on B overall.
Very quickly though, what is on the periodic table? What is it for gold? Is it AG or something? Oh, we'll come back to that as well then, because we've got a bit of aggression towards long. There's a battle for long. Dan Kusar's not falling for the first peak, misses the second one though, but he will not find the third either. Dren stealing the kills there, and Elige getting the third one. Banks doing what he can, but he runs out of bullets with the P250 spam. You have to respect it, Dan, and it will reward you. If you spam it, perhaps it won't. Whitmer putting in work with the scout though. 3 splats for him, he's put it into a 1 versus 1, but he's against the AWP now. He's got the chance to pick up the bomb as well. This is carnage. Whitmer's on point, Dan. Can he finish things off though? He's got 12 HP. Nitro's got full health. Whitmer needs the headshot there. Could pick up the AWP though, indeed he has, but he has no idea where Nitro could be. Time is on his side, however, and he's picked up the bomb looking the wrong way. Oh no! It could have been so beautiful. It was nice while it lasted though. Anyway, so back to the periodic table, Dan. I don't know if I think it's AG for gold, because the reason I'm asking this, right, is because Whitmer's
I hope there's a reason. You're bringing periodic table out.
Whitmer's knife says Whitmer.au.
Yeah.
And I thought, is that like a website? Is that like an Australian thing?
Austria.
Because it reminded me of a girl who had a website. I won't mention it. It's about, she was like a car nerd. She would have done well with maths actually. And but the end of her website was .ws because she thought it stood for Wicked Sick. I was like, sorry love, that stands for Western Samoa. So that just it just reminded me of that.
Who thinks that?
I told her that with great pleasure.
Stands for Wicked Sick.
That was a long time ago
I just
though.
don't even.
We were teenagers, Dan. We were teenagers at the time.
No, but still, come on, come on. That's rather.
It means Wicked Sick. No, it means Western Samoa. Get wrecked.
Well, I suppose if she believes that, then it's okay. If that's what she believes, James, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think I support that. So, well, it's the 11-4 first half for Liquid. That's a really strong scoreline considering how how back and forth it was, but now it's time for CompLexity to try to get themselves back into this game. Honestly, Whitmer has been going huge in some of these rounds. I mean, we've seen some great play with him on the sniper rifle. He is the sniper man of the team, essentially. That's the role that he has. And Def is looking for that information here from a Catwalk. Now, this is a very standard play from the CTs. He'll get challenged. He's got some support as well. And wow, the frags are coming in here for CompLexity. All of a sudden, Liquid in some trouble. Looking really good indeed. And there's the closeout.
Reset X Factor play.
Why did he say that, James?
I don't know that.
Oh, look.
Oh, there we go.
So,
I mean, did he say that on the stream?
27th of May. Let's go. Let's go.
Reese didn't say it on the stream, Dan. So he just said to us X Factor play. But I feel like he should just
James.
join in. And if he wants to say something about X-Men and the release of it, he should just say it on the stream.
He should, but do you know what happens, James, on the 27th of May? It's one day. It's one day after our playoffs finishes, James.
Is it one day after?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. No.
No,
I'm not sure.
Right.
So, I'm correct. Woo! Producer Reese confirmed it, James. I am correct. Why do you doubt me?
I enjoy the X-Men films.
Why do you doubt me?
I like them.
That is great. Will CompLexity enjoy playing an anti-force spy? Because they've got the full force of a force spy approaching. And Surreal is definitely quite trapped in this car position now. He is trapped. He's done it, James. He's done it. He's trapped. There's nowhere to go. Although, they aren't really pushing him, so he could actually escape here at this point in time. But he doesn't necessarily know that. Spots the head there of a player, gets dinked, and he's basically dead at this point, James. He's done almost nothing. He should throw his nades because he's going to die. He's dead now. He's dead now, James. Did almost nothing. It's great. Kusta is moving in here. The split can commence here for the A onto the A site from Liquid, and the bomb will be thrown across by Liquid's Elige. So they are actually making this winnable by having the bomb down. Nitro picking up a headshot on the scout as well.
And now Nitro can go to platform then because the bomb's being started for platform and he can defend the bomb from there. So this is all falling apart. The 1 League as well. What is happening to CompLexity right now? It's Android, X-Dan, X-Men coming out soon versus 5 players. I don't think he's going to make it to the premiere, Dan. I think he's going down right here, right now, very shortly indeed. And he's still alive. He could kill 3 people. He could actually kill everyone based on their health. Not that he knows that. Does he hear Elige? He sees Elige. Elige is now dead. And now, if he reloads, he could wreck all of them. Unfortunately for Android X, he won't make it to the premiere of X-Men Apocalypse Dan because he has fallen in this round.
So you say he's not the X factor of the...
No, he's more the Y factor, Dan.
Would you say he's...
Maybe
well, I guess he can...
Maybe he was the Z in that round.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't really his fault. I mean, he could have been the X, but his teammates let him down.
Clearly he didn't know the score, James. Perhaps he should go to the Score Esports.
Perhaps he should get the Score Esports app, Dan.
Available
from the iOS store or the Google Play Store, and then you could find out the score, Dan, and then become the X Factor, and then go to the X-Men premiere coming to a place near you soon. Let's not forget, Dan, that also we have the Corsair Rapid Fire Player of the Week coming up at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's true.
And they should definitely buy tickets for the ECS finals, Dan, because we will be there.
Period.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's Counter-Strike as well, and like players, and maybe Anko will come along.
Maybe. We're not decided yet, but maybe. So
this is an interesting situation for Liquid right now. Kusta and Hiko are tagged. CompLexity are on the Eco, but they could definitely kill a few players here. And now Hiko is camping top mid with the only M4 on the team, which I don't think is necessarily a good idea. I think maybe give him the scout and put the M4 into Elige, for example, or something. I don't know. I mean, you could give the M4 to Nitro, give the scout to Hiko, and let Elige carry on with his Mac 10. Anyway, we'll see which way this is going to go. So we're going for the pot shots on the site itself. Still alive somehow, and surely some carnage is going to happen in this round at some point. Kusa's gone down. Death will be the response from Team Liquid so far. Surreal finally gets taken out from close quarters. Wimmer flying in with a knife, and just required the 1 bullet onto Hiko. He's still holding on to that M4 for the time being. So now we've got 3 heavily tagged players, and Sank's top mid. What gun is he going to collect himself? The M4, but is he willing to go for it? He's got no armor, so it doesn't make sense really for him to try and go for this. Little does he know that, I mean, he has a fair chance of actually clutching the round, but there's almost no way he's going for it.
I mean, one argument is always, you know, can they buy next round? That's the one of the arguments. Is he going to be able to buy anyway? And then it becomes like a marginal situation?
Well,
the
not
answer
if
is
you're 1v3 with no armor.
the answer is no.
Even
Well, I mean, what if they're buying next round and if he can get an extra couple kills, he could just be in a spot where he could force them to eco if they win the next round, as opposed to the other situation where they get a buy and they, can't force an eco in the next round.
In my opinion, there's no argument for him to push in this situation.
But in this situation, there's no money for CompLexity to buy next round anyway. So their round loss bonus, I think, was 1900 there. I think it was the second loss in a row. So as you can see, they got absolutely nothing in the bank. And so yeah. So far, I mean, Liquid, they're looking pretty comfortable here in taking map 1. They're looking pretty comfortable, much better than they were yesterday. Perhaps, they were thinking, oh god, yesterday was a little bit sloppy. We just come back from an event, we're tired, and we're probably thinking we're way better than what this team that doesn't even have a fifth, basically, or one of them was away. But either way, today looks tighter here from Liquid, and they shall be moving in for an A play presently. So we've got a bit of an anti-eco, anti-force by touch strategy brewing here from Liquid, which is the classic long take. And they have sent one man alone up the catwalk. It's Nitro to take himself an entry, almost get a second kill as well, 5 HP for Sanks. So this round is pretty strong here for Liquid. There's not much that can be done from CompLexity's perspective.
Androids picks up an AK. The thing is, like, the bomb's only just gone down. So depending on what the money is like on the T side, it may be hard for them to save the guns. It's kind of a ropey situation for Liquid a little bit, so they might not go crazy about trying to hunt. But because they start to save and the bomb's only just gone down, that's like a lot of time for Liquid to hunt them, which is a problem, which makes it less likely that they will actually be able to save the weapons here. And there we go. So I think Sanks will probably die as well. Ellie still has 73 HP, he'll know to activate the angles, and indeed, there it is. Like, if they were in a situation where they just picked up the weapons and the bomb, I don't know, was halfway ticked, then a lot more likely to save the weapons, but there's just not enough places for them to hide on Dust 2 when the bomb has gone down and they are already saving. They're going to get hunted, Dan. What's that woman's name? Who plays the... Never mind, we'll come back to that. Never mind.
Brilliant.
There's more Counter-Strike to be had here. There's a long push from Liquid, who are 2 rounds away. Nice snap from Whitmer. He is really sharp as a butcher's pencil today, Dan, but it's not enough. Not in game 1. Ooh, bit of parkour there. Probably should have gone down, but 5 versus 3, they'll take that. That probably wasn't the plan. For that flashbang, very far away. Hiko makes it over. So we'll see if the Liquid side can retain control of long. They definitely don't have short. Whitmer's in trouble now. But 24 HP might just be enough for him. Hiko getting naded on the site, but with the AWP in play, that won't matter so much. Let's see if the frags will come in. Whitmer to trade. Whitmer's still alive, causing problems for the T's here. Hiko with 16 HP. Elise coming in for support. Hiko goes down. Left down to Elise now. He will not be able to do much more. So only 2 players going down for CompLexity. That is important going forward. 14-6.
That is the score, James. This is Esports.
Tell me more, Dan. Tell me more.
I refuse. So 14-6 is the scoreline, and we shall see whether or not there can be a comeback mounted by CompLexity. Life has been tough, especially if you're Surreal. So far he's on 2-2-16. That is a ratio that most professional players do not wish to ever see. But that is his reality right now. It is a surreal one.
It's always surreal, Dan, as the reality in X-Men Apocalypse, Dan, which is coming to cinemas near you very soon.
Their Team Liquid are hunting CompLexity as if they were mutants, James, unwanted by society, a society afraid of change.
Where's the overlay, man?
Things different to them.
Why are you doing this to me, Reese?
Reese, pretty sure
No,
Reese.
just do it now. I'm trying to... There we go. Boom. Let's go. It's X-Men time, Dan.
X-Men Apocalypse.
All right, we're done.
We're done. That is true. So we have a bit of a default playing out here from Liquid so far. They've got the bomb over towards the Xbox at the moment, and just basically going for the catwalk control. And this is the kind of timing you usually expect it to amount into a default, but they're not committed as to the A play. They still have yet to gain information. So from this point, due to the map control they have and how much time has passed, there's two things that can happen. Either you just go for the play blind, which is not always the best thing to do, I got to say, or you go for the information, then decide which play you're going for. They're going for the play blind, going with an ace. They must smoke off Whitmer. Whitmer is going to get a frag there, able to have just perhaps 100 milliseconds there to quickly spot an opponent and then frag him before being smoked off. But still, Adren will get the plant, and the engagement from Adren should be good here. There it is, 3 versus 3 with the bomb down. Whitmer has the AWP. He's got himself scoped on the A site, but it is a plant for short, and that is going to be a rough situation here for CompLexity, especially considering there is a Molotov smoke flashes HEs on these T players, although they are being taken down.
Can Whitmer defuse this bomb? He's holding angle for his teammate. The bomb is on fire though. Hiko's the only man remaining, and Whitmer is going for hero defuse. Hiko, can he get there in time? He needs to ignore Surreal, because he's not going to have time to kill Whitmer as well. After the defuse comes in, he needed to go for the wide peek, but it was actually really hard because Surreal had a really great position. So he had loads of time to engage Hiko before Hiko could go for the peek onto Whitmer. So not much he could do in that situation. I mean, obviously he doesn't know when Whitmer starts to defuse, I guess. But a gamble had to be made, Dan, and the gamble didn't pay off. Yeah. Speaking of gambling, Dan, I do wonder if Gambit will be in X-Men Apocalypse coming to cinemas near you soon.
Absolutely. Gambit's one of the coolest cats around, James. He is cool.
I actually have X-Men Children of the Atom arcade board, CPS2, old school arcade board. I bought it on eBay, just so you know. Well, Whitmer, he's doing the best he can. He's bringing in the frags. He's racking up the frags, Dan. He's putting people on meat hooks like he's a butcher.
Great. I'm sad you didn't go with any French references.
I wanted to make a reference to Saw, but really it was Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, there we go. We got the trade though in on long, so Liquid trying to work their way in, but it's harder than anticipated, seemingly. Now we'll see if Hiko can get anything else done. He's going to perhaps. I mean, they should perhaps leave one guy there, or are they going to just go for the push with 2? Looks like maybe they might just do that. They have a guy on short already, so they can split onto the bomb side. There's 2 players there, one on Goose, and if it's Whitmer, I'm afraid it is Whitmer, so I fear for their success. Whitmer's been incredibly on so far this match, and this will change nothing. He's got so much confidence. If you just look at how he's taking these shots, I mean, Whitmer has been insane. He's been insane in this matchup at the moment.
He's got 24 frags, Dan. He's got 24 frags. Yeah,
his team's basically getting wrecked, but he's got 24 kills because he himself is a beast, but not the kind of mutated beast who's blue with fur and with glasses. And it's great at science.
And it's perhaps Stan in X-Men Apocalypse coming to cinemas near you soon. I swear, Reese, you've got to put this up every time we reference this. There we go. Let's get this. Yes! Okay, I got wrecked by Reese. So, Liquid are on the eco now with pistols and a few nades, but Whitmer, I've never seen him kill so many people and just land shots consistently. And
he's just not missing, he's just super hot.
And I wouldn't even say, I mean, yes, this is an eco round, but I wouldn't even say people are like serving themselves up and making it easy for him. He's hitting flicks all over the place, Dan. He's flicking people.
He is hitting everything. It's great. It's really awesome to see when somebody hits the zone. He basically just started this match. He's like, I'm on right now. I don't know what he did before this match, whether he meditated or what kind of pre-game...
Standing under the waterfall, Dan. That's what you do.
Pre-game ritual he had. But it's working, whatever it is. Maybe James. He has some really good tea. Sometimes I have a great cup of tea. I'm just like, I'm on now. It does it for me.
Well, Maestro got taken down by the shotgun while moonwalking into the B-bomb site. Unfortunately, him. Tried to move in with a flashbang. Wasn't able to. Android X with 2 frags there, leaving Kusta alone. This is Nico, though, from Liquid. And they have indeed been taken care of by CompLexity, who continue to take rounds here. 5 rounds now behind Liquid. It was looking pretty dire. It still isn't fantastic for CompLexity, and they are quite relying quite heavily on Whitmer, which is fine considering he is delivering. Surreal having problems with his 120 ping. 130 ping, excuse me.
The thing is, if Whitmer wasn't just going in such beast mode, this game would already be over.
Of course.
Yeah, so that's why it's so cool. All right, well, Leeds is just going to find some legs, and he's going to start tapping all over the place, and that is a very dead Whitmer, so you can only expect that a round should be won here by Liquid with such a strong entrance into every single position that they want. They want all the positions, James, like that guy with the weird hair from Fifth Element. They want all the positions.
Strong entrance into every orifice stand of the B-bomb site.
You should have left more of a pause there. It would have been great.
You would have enjoyed it too much. I couldn't allow that.
I do enjoy ellipses. How can you not, James? How can you not? You told me you wrote poetry, therefore you clearly understand the nature of a good ellipsis. A cheeky ellipsis, James.
I will tell you why I'm laughing after.
This is with you. So 15-9, we've got game point here for Liquid, and they don't really look to be slowing down. It's really just been Whitmer with that AWP, and he does have an AWP again this time around, so I have to see if he can put that to good use. Obviously, you know, to be noted again, if you missed us noting that previously, Surreal and Def are playing from the UK, as they've had issues, I think, in acquiring visas or something similar to that. So their ping is probably outrageously high, which is very unfortunate for them. Although, so far, Whitmer has been picking up quite some amount of slack, James, all of the slack.
Indeed, he is the one man on the tug-of-war rope, Dan. Trying to play through the smoke, that's simply not going to work. And I think this might be Curtain's, Dan. The curtain is being called, but Android X trying to do something about it, and Whitmer is still alive, which is a problem. Where is the bomb, though? Kusa playing around the smoke, and Def is to be found in CT spawn. He will be found, leaving Whitmer alone in CT spawn. Hardcore shenanigans, but there is no way. There is surely no way. Trying to force his way through the smoke. He will be eliminated, and that will be that 16-9 in favour of Liquid on map 1 of this best of 3.
Yep, it's a pretty strong way to start the game, isn't it? It's just pretty dominant performance. Again, it was pretty much just a performance we have not seen from Whitmer before, really. I don't think I've ever seen Whitmer that strong or prolific in a map. That's the only reason why that really slowed down Liquid. Otherwise, it probably would have been like a 16, well, much more dominant at least.
Yeah, I think Whitmer's individual performance makes the score misrepresent the kind of the score that it should have been, which it should have been shut out. It should have been shut out a lot faster than it was, and I think that's an outstanding performance from Whitmer. But yes, it's the strongest we've seen him play. But I don't think an AWPer should normally play that strong on one map.
Why not?
If that makes any sense. Because, I mean, his team should be getting more, the kills should be more spread out, basically. He shouldn't just be like a one-man wrecking ball in that kind of situation.
Well, sometimes you just got to get your Miley Cyrus game on, jump on that wrecking ball, James, and just swing all over the place, just as Whitmer did.
He indeed did, Dan. Okay.
Some good imagery. Yeah, I mean that was the first few shots where we started to be like, oh, hello Whitmer.
He's delivering.
And then he just continued and didn't stop for the entire map. So it'd be great to see that on the second map. We've got Mirage coming up in this series, and Mirage used to be Liquid's go-to back in the days, way back when Liquid were a wee young team. Liquid had just stepped into the scene, and it was unknown as to how their team would perform. And it was the time when Liquid didn't have any. Well, they had basically Elish was on the team, I believe, back then, but he had no LAN experience. He was, I think he was 16 at that point. I assume that he's aged. I assume that he has aged.
Doesn't look like it.
So he must be about at least 17 at this point. 17 or 18 must be at this point. So back then, the very new team under the very famous brand from StarCraft, Liquid, and Mirage was the map where they really showed people that they could perform very well. And in fact, Elish was one of the reasons. He was a really great Mirage player. They would play him on the A side, and he'd have great performances. And generally, it's always been a relatively comfortable map for them, I would say. I'm not sure if they would agree or disagree. At this point, the team has had many different changes in themselves recently. Kusta and Adren back into the main lineup again, having practice. Also, recent change since Simple's departure. So
having practice is good, Dan.
Is quite good indeed.
Not so common in North American teams.
No. Well, I guess we're going to go to a break then, James, and we shall find out how the next match is going to go after said break. So stay with us, guys. We'll be back here for more from the ECS North American League.